The amount of posts in the last 2 weeks for women saying, I started a GLP-1 medication in January and I want to be at my goal weight by the time of my wedding. When should I start dress shopping? So
That's my point.
there's a lot of things
Your
that
vagina might close up. It might seal up, and that's it. Forget the marriage.
9 to 10 months
Next
for a
thing you know,
dress to
it'll
come
be
in.
BYOF. Bring your own food. Because
Well,
the bride won't be eating.
That's or half your guests. You should put on the RSVP.
Stop
Are you
by
on?
McDonald's on the way. Grab a burger. We've got complimentary liquor. Hey, Jax.
Hi, Claiborne Green.
Hello. Welcome back again.
Thanks for having me.
You're here every time we shoot. I'm not going to be able to get rid of you. I don't think I could ask for a better co-host than you.
What other compliments do you want to feed to me? Because I'll take
As
them.
many as you take.
No, I love it. What's
Welcome
going
to the
on?
Wedding Files in our brand new space. We're
love
super
it.
excited. We are. What are we going to talk about today? What do you want to chat about? What's been on your mind since the last week since I
did
saw
want
you?
to talk about something which, okay, so I'm a part of all these like Facebook wedding groups that I've like not infiltrated because vendors can become
Right.
a group.
Right.
I think I've figured out why the trends in 2025 of like, not the trends, but the bookings for people in not as many weddings in 2025. Are you ready for it? This is like a revelation I had as I was getting ready this morning reading this group. The amount of posts in the last 2 weeks for women saying, I started a GLP-1 medication in January and I want to be at my goal weight by the time of my wedding. When should I start dress shopping? I think people are delaying their weddings because they're going on these GLP-1 medications like the Ozempic, Wegovy.
That's interesting.
I'm not even kidding you.
No, there's a couple of my
It's
clients
wild.
that are going on that started it as well. Yeah, for their weddings.
It's wild.
And you know, I think it's great, and I think it's okay. And as in anything, and I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But whatever you do to yourself, you have to do it in moderation.
Yeah.
And you have to incorporate, especially if you are taking any type of dietary pill or something like you said, the GLP, and I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
But what I do know is you have to exercise and
people
eat
aren't.
properly and eat the right foods, because what you might see on the outside might look amazing, but that interior could be breaking down big time.
I'm just laughing.
Why are you
because
laughing? It
there
could
was-
be.
Well, I know what you're saying, but I was just listening to this podcast with Heather Dubrow and Terry Dubrow. I don't know if you're familiar
Oh,
with
yeah,
them.
I love them. Yes.
So she is on The Real Housewives of Orange County, and he
Okay.
is a plastic surgeon. He's a
Okay,
doctor
right.
out in California. He has his botch show, whatever. Well, they were talking about the effects of Ozempic vagina, like legit of like having issues like down there. So it's not just about
That's my point.
there's a lot of things
Your
that
vagina might close up. It might seal up, and that's it. Forget the marriage. What are you going to do?
I don't think it's
Stare
a seal.
at it?
I don't think it's a seal. I don't think it's a seal up thing, but I want people to Google it for themselves. But
I know.
You're losing
But that was
muscle.
my point. So you're agreeing with my point.
No,
You
agreed.
don't know what's going on with the interior
But that's why I was
body.
laughing when you said interior
Right,
body, because
right,
I automatically
right.
think of Terry Dubrow and Heather Dubrow talking about it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is
Yeah.
wild.
So I never thought about something like that. And
But yes, there's the amount of women that are like, we're postponing our wedding. I'm not at my goal weight. Like, we were going to push it to the fall of 2026 or whatever. And one of my really good friends from Lucky Penny Tailor Shop right here in Milwaukee, the amount of time she's had to redo a dress this year, Amanda, her name is, because of people, like normal fittings used to be 2-3 fittings. Now it's like 7 fittings because people keep losing weight. And she will have to tell her
that's
clients, like, you cannot
crazy.
lose any more weight.
I don't think I ever thought of the impact, the trickle down that it has to, like, your wedding day to your wedding dress,
to your
et
seamstress,
cetera.
to people like waiting
Yeah,
to buy their
yeah,
dresses. And what
right.
some people don't understand is there's designers like me. Can have stuff stocked pretty quick, but there's dress designers that it takes 7 to 9 to 10
Next
months
thing
for
you
a
know,
dress to
it'll
come
be
in.
BYOF. Bring your own food. Because
Well,
the bride won't be eating.
that's or half your guests. You should put on the RSVP.
Stop
Are
by
you on?
McDonald's on the way, grab a burger. We've got complimentary liquor.
You should put
and
on
dancing.
the RSVP. Are you on Ozempic or not Ozempic? So then you and your spouse can split a plate. Because it's like you're having one bite of a steak. Well, why am I getting you a whole steak if it's going to go on the garbage? You know? And listen.
And
like,
and it's probably not as prevalent in Wisconsin as it would be in LA, obviously.
Oh,
Obviously,
I think Wisconsin. I know a ton of people on. Like, I got prescribed it because
You did?
I know what I need to do. That's the
Right,
thing, though. Like,
right.
I know I need to work out. I need to eat better. Like, I need to, not drink wine. Like, whatever. I got prescribed it if I want it. It's there.
Tequila?
Tequila. It's scary. The side effects we don't know yet. You know what I mean?
No,
It's like,
not
I
at
know
all.
I have work
I
to
know.
do, but it's like, do I want to go down that? I don't know.
Nobody knows
Whatever.
what the side effects are. Something amazing comes out, and people see the results.
Well, they see the
and
celebrities
people are like,
doing it,
oh
and they're
yeah,
like, oh, I want that.
fantastic, right? So, interesting that you brought that up, and I know a couple, actually an amazing couple that's getting married in my place next year, and she started GLP. I believe that's the name, right?
GLP-1, yeah.
GLP-1,
Well, there's
yeah.
so many different than brand names.
They're
from
very
it,
different,
yeah.
right? Exactly. Is that the one that Walmart is going to sell? The one that
Costco,
I just heard?
and I think I don't know what they're going to do.
Costco,
Zepbound,
that's
maybe?
what it was.
Because Zepbound's another one, too.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
So is it like a quarter of
Costco's-
the price?
Well, some people pay up to $600 a month. It's still supposed to be
my
like
God.
$300 or $250.
Well,
or
evidently
something.
the economy is not
But
that
that's like a
terrible.
car
People are
payment.
spending, yeah, for sure.
But they're spending
For
less
sure.
money on food, so
I'll take
it's a
the
horse
bus
a
to
piece.
work and give up my car, and at least I'll look skinny.
I mean, hello.
You know?
My grandma always says, once it hits your lips, it goes straight to your hips. It's like...
True.
It's
But
true.
anyway, in any regards, like I said, I'm not a doctor, but if you're going to go on some dietary pill, etc., do your daily exercise, work out, go to a gym, take a yoga
Eat
class,
good.
do something, eat healthy, eat clean. That's the most important thing that you can do for your body, and
And I
you'll
think,
maintain your weight
too,
doing that
for
too.
like the bride's perspective, just because everybody else you see is going on these medications, it doesn't mean you have to.
Right.
If you feel comfortable in your skin and, maybe you want to lose 10 pounds, fine, start walking every day.
Agreed.
But you don't have
Agreed.
to go to this extreme because everyone else is doing
Yeah,
it.
I agree. The business is great though. How's business for you? Is it getting better?
It's a struggle. It's been a struggle, and I think a lot of my stores have been struggling. I've had like 20 stores closed.
That's what I'm hearing.
And
but
it's good to be transparent about it because a lot of people are like, "Oh, things are great." It's like, no, it's not great right now.
Right.
So support local. I mean, there's a lot of people that are, like I said, our last podcast, we were talking about pricing. People want pricing from 10 years ago. We have to be fluid in pricing where we're at now and really need to, as a bride, not ask for a discount. Your vendors are out there just trying to make it too during the downtick.
One of the things that I find to be so important in running a business is, and I know we've touched on this before in the earlier episodes when we started, but it can't be stressed enough how many times that I've reached out to a coordinator or a vendor for a client because I'm recommending them and they don't answer their phone, they don't text back, or they might a day or 2 days later. And that, to me, I don't comprehend it.
Yeah.
I know that I'm in business for two things. The main priority is my passion for what I do.
Yeah.
That's it. And then to make a living, to make a great living. And I can increase my business. I know I do increase my business by 50% by just returning people's messages instantaneously.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm doing. I mean, obviously I can't do it right now within the podcast, but right after I will. But I find that a lot. People drop the ball. They just drop the ball, and that is something that is vital to your growth of your business.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
100%. Well, and it's true. Like, I will tell my stores, you're better off texting or calling me on the weekends versus email. Like, yes, I'm checking my email, but if I'm like at my nephew's soccer game or whatever and a text come through, I'm looking at that right away versus I'm checking my email every hour. So I encourage stylists to like text me if you're in an appointment, you have a question, I will like text back right away. Just tell me who you are, you know what I mean? But I always have my phone on me or I have my Apple Watch.
I just had a bride this morning text me and she said, "Hey Clay, I have a couple questions for you. We're having our wedding next week at the Barley Room. My coordinator hasn't. I haven't talked to my coordinator in a couple weeks, and as soon as I saw that, and she asked me a couple more questions about the space, etc. Doesn't even matter. But the part about haven't talked to my coordinator in a couple weeks, and I think to myself, okay, I'm really going to be. I need to be positive about this because when I meet the coordinator, I need to be kind.
Yeah.
But if you're a coordinator and you're coordinating somebody's wedding, and even if it's the day of, you check on your bride every week.
Yeah.
You check on your bride because the closer she gets to her date, the more stressed she is.
Or have
And
a
she even
communication timeline for them.
She even told me in the text, she's like, I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning. As you can see, I texted you at 1:49.
Yeah.
1:49 a.m. she texted me. And I'm cool with that.
That's like
I'm like,
you
whatever.
texting me
Text
at
me.
1:49
I'm your
a.m.
therapist 24/7. What?
That's like you texting me at 1:49 a.m. And I'm
That
like,
hasn't
"Clay."
happened in a very long time. 10 o'clock maybe at the latest for me. I'm usually in bed on TikTok.
Yeah, you send me a lot of
till like
TikToks
11.
after 11.
Yeah, exactly. So as a coordinator, it's important if they're spending money with you, be on top of your client, be on top of it.
Well, and I think
check in
also
with them.
too, it's become this shift in this mindset of these coordinators and vendors that are like, oh, my bride, my customer's a bother. Like, they're paying you. I've had this multiple times with
And
my
we talked
brides.
about this the last episode, too.
Multiple times with my bride saying, hey, my coordinator hasn't gotten back to me, and like you said, and they're getting really shitty with me because I'm asking so many questions. It's like, what?
Right.
This is wild. They're paying you.
Right. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about building a business as a coordinator, because my experience and the education that I've taught either myself or learned from other people and other companies, other venues across the country has brought me to where I am today in the business. And, I often think to myself, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And I can. I could do every possible facet of the industry. Probably not videography. Definitely not that. I'm not good at that. And photography, no. But DJ, probably so. But coordination, that's for sure, because that's basically what I'm doing pre the wedding anyway with my clients.
So what do
is
you
answering
do if a
questions.
wedding comes in and they have no coordinate? Do you ever have
So
that?
yes, so let's just talk about building your business as a coordinator.
Okay.
Number one, to answer your question, yes. If you are going to have a ceremony with a reception, get a coordinator. You need a day of. There is no reason not to have one.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You have to. It's part of the game. And if you can't afford to get one, don't have a wedding.
Well, and I see a lot of people asking that in the Facebook groups that I'm talking about too. Do I really need to do that? Or can we have like my mom do the flowers and my sister? It's like, do you really want everybody to be doing that on your wedding day?
Right,
like setting all
right.
that stuff up? Like
Right.
at least just get a day of then to like run around and do the other things.
So here's my order of being a coordinator of what, here I am. I'm thinking, God, I love weddings. I love to go to weddings. I enjoy them. I enjoy people. I like to see couples happy. So I'm going to go into the coordination business.
Yeah.
I'm going to do week of, month of, handle your whole
What would you
your
call
whole wedding.
yours? What, Clay for a day? Clay for the day?
I like that.
Clay for the day.
Clay for the day, yeah. I would never do that.
Clay for pay?
I have Clay for pay. Clay for the day, Clay for pay. Yes, exactly. Yes, yes, yes. So coordination. First of all, you have to have the passion for it. You do. You have
And
to have the passion
patience.
and the patience. Yes.
Which I don't have.
Passion, patience, and the communication.
Yes.
If you are not a quick communicator and you do not respond to text within seconds or minutes, not saying that if you're at the doctor, things like that, excuses.
Or if you're with
but
another
if you're
client.
just walking down the street,
Yeah.
etc., and you're not responding to couples, don't get in the business.
Yeah.
Please do not get in the
You
business.
can't have your phone on silent during a walk. That's not a thing.
100%, yeah. And you just really need to not be in the business. If you're if you are a quick responder, this is the perfect business for you.
Yeah.
If you have compassion for other people, that is the perfect business for you.
Yeah.
If you're structured and if you're organized, being a coordinator is the perfect business for you.
Yeah, I agree.
What else do you think a coordinator needs to have?
I think that they really need to have a team with them. I think you can't just as a single person do it on your own. And whether it's a like contracted employee, whether if you can't afford to have like a full salaried team, get that. But at least have one other person that you're not
1,000%.
Because if you're pulled in one direction,
yes.
Who needs to get in the other direction?
Correct.
So I think there's these people who are be like, oh, I'll be the day of coordinator. How hard can it be? It's like, no, you need like at least two people. At least two people.
You do. We had a wedding a few weeks ago, and there was one coordinator, and I said, where's the team? Where are the other people? And she's running around doing like 10 or 15 things and not being able to get everything done, and then she's becoming very catty and snobby.
Well, and your stress level.
And I thought to myself, I said, okay, Clay, calm down. Do not say a word to her now. She's focusing. But I talked to her after, and I said, look, I said, if you're going to stay in this business, I said, you need to have somebody with you. Period.
Whether it's your mom, your sister,
she said,
your
well,
aunt,
they called in sick.
Well,
I don't care if they called in sick.
call
Then you have a
someone
backup.
else.
If you own a company, you have backup. There's certain things that you have to plan, especially if you're in this business.
Especially for a wedding. It's not like it's like your
correct
cousin's birthday party. It's like, hello, you
Right.
need to really just
Right.
prepare ahead of time, especially for a wedding. And I think vendors too, that's another thing. I keep bringing up these Facebook wedding groups, which you got to get in because it's very like.
No, I've already seen. I was on those for a while. Yeah.
Like someone just said, "Oh, my photographer canceled."
Right.
What do you do in those situations if your wedding? Have you ever had a wedding coordinator like cancel?
We had a photographer not show up at one time. Yeah, one time a photographer did not show up. They were fortunate enough to get another photographer in right away that day.
That's wild.
Yeah, things happen. I mean, things happen, especially independent photographers that are just by themselves. And again, in that business as well, have an assistant.
Yeah.
Videographers have an assistant. Somebody with you. I just think to just when you're at a venue by yourself and you come by yourself, it's good to have somebody with you.
Agreed. And a lot. You know what a lot of people are doing now too, and I've seen like events people, especially like coordinators and stuff like doing that, is they're taking their own footage on their phones for like Instagram, TikTok. What are your thoughts on that? Do you see that? Like, do you think that's distracting at all?
So let's say the groomsmen are taking photos and videos and then putting it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Prior to the wedding or before?
During the whole wedding. I know that there's like social wedding people now that they just walk around and do films with their phones. So
100%. There is a company out of California. They specialize.
There's a bunch in Milwaukee.
Their social media. I don't know the name for it.
LOH is Milwaukee.
What is it?
LOH Weddings. I worked with her a couple weeks ago.
LOH, and all they do is come in and do the social media.
Yep. And then they'll give reels like to the brides and stuff. So I'm wondering if you ever see that with like event planners or coordinators of them taking content.
I haven't seen that at all.
Because that's starting to become a popular like comment on TikTok too.
You know,
where
Jackie,
it's like, why hire?
And I'm just bringing this up to you as my friend and my co-partner. I think that is a great business for you to get into, along with Jaxie, because especially myself, just alone, 4 wedding venues, and then you have your other friends that own camp, and they've got all the 3 wedding venues. I mean, that's a huge business.
Yeah.
And you can kind of pick and choose. People love that, you know. People are obviously paying for that now. They're videographer, they're photographer, and then they're social media person.
The reason why people are doing that is because they don't want to wait for their video from their videographer. They want to post something right away. That's what, because we've become such an instant culture. They want to have that the next day so that they can post and say, what a night, whatever.
So, concept for a videographer would be
to add that service.
To add that service to his company and
or
market
her
it immediately. So therefore, somebody like that Khalid who does our posts, and then we have our videographer, which is Adam.
Yep.
You know, have somebody like a Khalid with that videographer at the wedding, and then automatically those clips are created from what he's shooting, and boom, they're on social media in a minute.
Yeah.
People
they're
love,
obsessed.
If you're, no matter how much you spend for your wedding, whether it was $3,000 or $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you spent your hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Because parents really aren't paying for weddings anymore. That's kind of a thing of the past, unless you're early 20s or something. But the late 30s, 40s, 50s.
My parents still did for my sister. I told my parents,
but a lot of most
just
families
give me
are
the
not
money
paying
for a
them.
down payment for a house because I'll just do whatever.
But times have changed. Too.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, many are not.
And how do we save money if we can't?
That's a great idea for a videographer to have that option. You know, that's an add-on.
Yeah,
that's a great add-on. So we just gave away a little secret.
Yeah,
give a little
insider.
To make some extra money. But yeah, I love it. I mean, you know, if I get married, then I will have a social media person there because I love the idea of having
I'll just
clips.
do a selfie of my wedding the whole time because I do it like on Snapchat anyway.
So
I'm like
just have the whole thing by herself.
Yeah. Be like, hey guys, it's me. It's
my I see it all the time. I see so many brides.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm catching brides like at dinner doing this, like, you know, this, you know, with their friends. Yeah, things have changed. Definitely have changed.
For sure.
So we were talking about coordinators, how important it is, you know, with communication and compassion and you know, really, really knowing the business and acceptance too. I mean, just don't limit yourself to, you know, to a man and a woman. You know, there's so many other couples getting married nowadays. You know, open yourself up and market yourself to all the different, you know, types of weddings that are offered
and
nowadays.
I think you need to be transparent too to the couple on what your duties are, because there's a lot of times where I've had conversations with my brides and they're like, well, I don't know, the coordinator should know that, and then I like will touch in with the coordinator like, no, that's not like on our list of whatever. So I think that communication there, and instead of just saying these are the services I offer, you literally have to like lay it out like a checklist.
Oh, you have to, and I think it's really important.
Otherwise, lost in communication.
I firmly believe in checklist with a signature.
Yep.
And if I were to be a coordinator, Clai for pay.
Clai for pay.
Clai
for pay. I like
that. Clai for the day.
Or Clai for the day.
Clai for the day. I would
pay Clai for the day.
Meet with the bride or groom or whomever is getting married, and I would meet with both. Yeah. And if the mother is included, I'm telling you.
What about the mother-in-law?
Let's back up. You need to be very clear. The freaking mother-in-law. You need to be very clear to your bride. The first meeting as a coordinator, Jackie, who is going to be involved in your wedding? With you? Who is going to help you make the decisions? And I need to know now because I'm going to write this down.
Sheet.
Yep, and I'm going to write this down. And I'm going to write, well, Jackie, my mom's going to be involved.
Like an intake form.
Okay.
Like at the hospital.
And I think it's very fair to say to Jackie, how is your mom? Is she aggressive? Is she passive? Does she like to control things? I think those are really important questions because the coordinator needs to know the personality of the client's family.
Or, yes, like my sister, I helped her with a lot of stuff, but I knew like most of the vendors she worked with. So for me, I was just talking to my sister yesterday about something, and my sister's like, I'm not getting involved. I'm like, well, you know, I can't help myself with my mouth. You know, like I'm just...
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, how's the sister? How's the bride's, like the maid of honor?
Completely. So that's really what is the most important, to ask who's going to be involved.
Yeah.
And who's going to be involved the day of the wedding, the week of, who's helping you make decisions, etc. We outline that. We sit down and we say, okay, what services are you wanting? You want day of? Fantastic. This is what I cover. You're sharing with her everything on your
And then you
laptop.
can also add like a la carte items. Let's say for an extra amount of items you want them to do.
Well, at that moment, we're kind of just deciding what
Yeah.
you want.
Yep.
Okay? Then you get home, you create her checklist from top to bottom. You meet with her again in person, not over email and not over text. You meet with her one more time, and you check that list off with her.
A lot of people are doing Zooms, and I don't know how I feel
Zooms
about
are
that.
okay too, because you
You
can
think
check
so?
it,
Okay.
and then you can send her a message right away with a picture of it, and when you're still on Zoom with
Okay.
her, and say, can you approve this? Great. And then she can sign it right on her phone. That is the key. Once the client has their signature on everything that you shared with them that you're going to do that day, there's nothing that can be changed.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an example. In my venue, 2 weeks before the wedding, we meet with the bride again. We have a checklist. We've had coordinators, etc., come up to us and say, "Hey, guess what our director does?" She says, "Hey, Sarah, Jackie, come in the back with me for 1 second. Just want to go over it with you." She shows her the checklist and the signature of the
brilliant.
client. It's not brilliant. It's just that
No,
it's
but
a
it
learning.
is.
It is, because it shares what needs to be done. Because I'm going to tell you, groomsmen getting married, brides getting married, there's so many things on their mind.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there are ones that will bullshit you to try to get additional stuff for free.
Yeah.
And there's many, 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 many honest ones that just forget what you said.
But I also
honestly
think-
forget. And if you can say, hey,
No, on
here
the
it
checklist.
is.
But
got
I
it.
think too, for those situations, it wouldn't be bad to say, like in the contract, if there's something that you want added, it will be an a la carte price, because you should
100
be like
you
adding
can put that
onto
right on
that.
your. You put that right on your checklist.
Yes.
And your
At the
a la
bottom,
carte
that
is
would
right
say.
on your checklist, and you
So
can
if
check it
they
off.
2 weeks before the wedding say
Right.
blah blah blah, I'd be like, okay, that's not my services. But if you
And-
want that a la carte, this is the price.
And convoluted contracts are the worst. In addition to your checklist.
What do you mean by that?
Convoluted means like a contract that is 3 and 4 pages. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
One
Get
page.
straight to the point.
One page, or get to the point. Spell it out quickly, because people read things very quickly.
Yeah.
And if you spell it out and use easy diction for them to understand, then it's just.
I love a good easy diction this time of year.
Huh? Everybody likes an easy diction. Does that go with beef, pizzle, tizzle, lizzle?
No, but you can find me on WikiFeet.
Easy
Clai
beef,
and Jax,
tizzle, wiki feet.
the toe files.
The toe files. Yeah, so that is one of the things that I highly suggest for a coordinator. It will make your life so much easier, much more balanced.
Don't just say we can do that. We can do that. It needs to be in writing. You can't just say,
Has
I'll
to
do
be in
that.
writing. Yes, yes.
I think
and
that's
I
the
can
biggest
tell
thing.
you that being a venue owner for quite a few years, my first couple years, I would promise people things and I would not write it in the contract, and they'd come back to me, and I obviously have to say yes. And I don't even know if I said it. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why as long as it's
really
in writing,
important.
it's fine.
Day of coordination. And please, I know we talked about this last time. If you have attitude, and if you are no offense to anybody named Karen, because I'm sure we'll have a Karen on the show, but please, you need to be vibrant and happy.
Yeah.
Completely happy when you are in a space.
I think there's
And
a way of being direct and being kind. And
there
not
is
just being like a
100%.
biatch.
Yes, correct.
Or like, around people that I love the most, I can be like a total
Right,
biatch.
but if you're a coordinator, drop your attitude.
Yeah.
Because if you're in my space and you have an attitude, Clay for pay will take over for the day. And that's really what it comes down to. I will. I had to check a coordinator a few weeks ago.
And you know what you
and
say?
I said to
You
her,
can
and I
Venmo
said,
me the other half because I will be
well,
taking over.
I didn't even want the money. I told the coordinator, I walked her back to my office and I said, look, your attitude really sucks at my venue. I said, I think I brought this up. Well, this was with
Yeah.
another vendor a few weeks ago. And I said, just please change your attitude. I said, I don't know what's going on personally with you, but you have to be positive.
And you know
in
what?
this
I don't
space.
think that's a bad
And
thing. I
so,
think that's
if
not
I did it in a very
confrontational. I think it's
diplomatic,
nice.
very respectful way.
Because sometimes you're in your own head and you need to snap out of it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're like,
oh, I had my employee
I think
check
that's
me
great. Yeah.
a few weeks ago and say, Clay, you came in
Hot.
with a bad attitude behind the bar because we weren't fast enough.
Yeah.
And I had to rethink myself, and I'm like, oh my God, you're right, I did.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I
sorry.
apologize.
Yep,
And I'm
exactly.
okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm
agreed.
human.
Yep.
I'm human, you know?
It's all
I was
of our
running
first
around
time
going to
on
all the
Earth.
venues and checking things out, and a couple things weren't done the way that I wanted them to be done. So I think it's okay. And if you are in the business and you want to learn, I think it's important to learn from other people that are in the business.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And take
So-
constructive criticism and don't take it personal. I think that's the biggest thing. When someone is giving you criticism, you can't like take it personal. Like use it as a stepping stone.
Right. A good wedding coordinator is hard to find. I'm going to share that with you right now. I've seen so many, and there's a few great ones, and there's
You're not
a
talking
really
event
lot of
planner.
middle of the road
You're talking like
coordinator. Day of,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's not a lot of great ones. So, for anybody wanting to go into business and just following, the rules of how a coordinator should be.
You know what you could do?
You can make a lot of money.
Talking about ideas with businesses.
What?
You could have Trays. See, now I can't even talk with all these Clay's Pays days. Clay's Training Academy have a coordinator at your venues and then release them into the wild to start their own business. See, I got so excited I hit my mic.
That's funny because I'm doing the opposite. There's a really great coordinator that works for this company that was at my Rotunda venue, which is located in downtown Waukesha. Absolutely beautiful, historic
Shout out
venue.
Rotunda.
Which I rarely shout out my venue. I rarely shout out about my venues. But anyway, I walked in and I'm like, this girl was the protege of I walked up to her and I said, not only are you beautiful, but you've got an amazing personality. Do you want to work with us once in a while, be our director for the venues? And she said, I'd love to when I'm not working. And I said,
Perfect.
well, I'd love to have you. But so there's some great people out there. But training a coordination academy, that's kind of a cool idea.
Clay Academy.
We're gonna have to
Clay's
talk about
Coordination
that after.
Academy.
Yes.
CCA.
Yes. So anyway, I think you had a question for me.
What is it, Clay? Do you know?
What was that question? No, but I know
Bum,
you.
bum,
you
bum. It's
talked about
question
it earlier.
time. Well,
I've
this
got
is a good one. If you had to describe our dynamic between you and I in 3 words, what would it be? Oh, you guys, don't worry. The podcast didn't cut out. Clay's just thinking.
Oh my God. This is like what I do in my improv class when we do acronym, which I'm doing tomorrow night.
What would be
Straight effing crazy.
True. I like that. It is straight effing crazy. And I think the thing that's great about us is
SFC.
SFC. I think that we are like brother and sister to a point where we can be like, you need help, you're a psycho, and then we don't take it personal.
Yeah,
like,
I think
whatever.
you told me I needed to calm down a few weeks ago when we were in here.
I said, You said,
what's your attitude today? I'm like,
I said, what's your attitude
okay, what's
today?
this crazy bitch talking about now?
I'm like, I don't like your vibe. Your vibe is off, and I'm not here for it. And you're like, whatever, Jackie. And we're like, okay, love you. Have a good day.
Hold on. Let me show you my card and ask a question. The wedding files, by the way, guys. If you could, this has nothing to do with weddings. Well, maybe it does. Maybe if you put a wedding spin on it. What era, time period, if you could wake up tomorrow and be in, what would it be?
Oh, this is going to make me cry. Because I would go back to the 80s or 90s to be back in the same household with my family. Because I see my family, but there's something
so not the 1900s or the
special
1800s?
about my dynamic with my family all being together under one roof.
Okay.
That's my first thought that comes to my mind. Are you talking like fashion-wise or wedding, or what are we talking? I'm talking about a time period in my life.
Time period of not your current life.
Oh.
A time period. I mean, 80s or 90s are great.
I wouldn't want to go back to the 1800s because I think I was a witch.
You were a witch?
Yeah, I think I was in the Salem trials. Isn't that the 1800s?
You went from witch to bitch. Unbelievable.
Oh, we came up.
I'm
we
kidding.
No,
She is not.
We came
and
up
I say that with the
with
ultimate
love.
of terms of endearment and with love.
We came up with this funny shirt thing that said "witches to bitches," but I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway, so 1800. You love my friend Corinne. Then she loves.
I would say
witches,
1980s.
Too. Good witches.
I
though.
would say like, if I were personally to like live in an era, I would say like the 20s. I think the women's fashion, the amount of time that they took to like get ready and get out of the house, and now you
20s
see
was
people
cool.
with like their hair so greasy that you could grease a pan and make an egg.
It's crazy. People just don't care anymore.
Stained clothing out
But
and about.
I think we live in, not to get off the subject of that period of time, but we just live in a fast-paced world. We do.
Yeah.
And you know, even like I have 3 dirty dishes in my sink today, and I'm like, oh my God, I usually run back in, I will clean them right away.
I have 3 glasses.
And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have time. There's just
know.
days when I just don't have time for things. We live in such a fast-paced world.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why people are just
I think the fashion
so
of like the
casual.
1900s.
People had so much time at that time. Think about it. Think
did.
about it. Hours.
Women
to get
weren't
ready.
working. They had time to get ready.
We weren't on TikTok every
No.
second. We weren't on Facebook, social media.
Okay, so now.
So that era. And what do you think of the weddings in that time?
Oh,
they
just
were lavish,
grandiose.
right? Grandiose, right? When you got married, it was like
wedding
becoming
portraits.
a king or queen.
They had portraits, like days just to do your wedding portraits
yeah.
before you even got married. I mean, it was just a different time. I think weddings are so like rushed now, where it's like weddings you would announce your engagement.
And I think Jackson would have been very successful at that time.
Oh, are you kidding?
The products you're doing now would have gone perfectly
the
with
veils?
the 1920s
Oh
wedding.
my gosh, I love it. Yeah, I would say the 1900s personally.
Right.
But yeah, if I could go back in time, I would say the 80s, 90s because I loved my home life.
Cool. Well, that's my question for you.
Yeah, well, that's it. I love that.
I think this has been a lot of fun.
We always have so much fun together, Clay.
We always have fun together. So I look forward to next week chatting with you and having our special guest on. It is a surprise.
Surprise.
And
again, like we had mentioned, if you feel like you have a story to tell, you're a couple, a bride, groom, bridesmaids, we'd love to have you on. Email Clay. Clay, you want to drop your email handle?
clay.theweddingfiles@gmail.com. Or text me at 414-364-3761. Please don't send me 174,000 texts.
Only 173. I love it.
And yeah, The Wedding Files. Follow us on
TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram.
Clai and Jax. We're here for you to answer any of your questions about the wedding.
Thanks for listening.
And sharing the latest trends.
Bye. Have a good week.